Look, I get that Pramila Jayapal has a base that she's trying to speak to. But can we have any local media outside of Seattle Red calling some of this garbage out? Or can we not do that? Because I want you to hear her comments from a recent event. She's doing these shadow hearings, they're called. They're just committee hearings that are propaganda. She's in Illinois, and she's part of the press conference that Mayor Brandon Johnson is at. And we'll start with Brandon Johnson because a reporter used the term illegal aliens, which is not even a little bit controversial, but he gets very upset.
You're supposed to have filed a report on spending on illegal aliens in Chicago with the White House by now. What's happening with that, or what has happened with that?
We don't have illegal aliens. I don't know if that's from some sort of sci-fi message.
No, it's not a sci-fi message, you dummy. And it's a stupid response.
From the U.S. Code, actually.
Yeah, this is, see what he did there? Because alien, see what he did there? It's dehumanizing or something. It's literally in the law.
Which have had, well, listen, the legal term for my people were slaves. You want me to use that term too? So look, let's just get the language right. We're talking about undocumented individuals that are human beings. The last thing that I'm going to do is accept the type of racist, nasty language to describe human beings.
Oh, dear God. I can't. I got to go. I can't do this. Can you finish the show? I can't. First of all, comparing this to slavery is just monumentally stupid. But his reaction, so over the top, pretending that somehow he's like their hero, it's too much. Oh, we got Pramila Jayapal then jumping in because for some reason she's in Illinois.
It is very important that people in Illinois and across the country understand the immigration system is a civil system. Undocumented presence in the United States is not a criminal offense.
As is often the case, her claim is intentionally manipulative, staggeringly disingenuous, delivered in bad faith to the point where she might be the epitome of bad faith. That's a calculated response. It's not the first time she's made it. It's an attempt to sanitize what is, in many cases, an actual crime. Now, her statement is designed to deceive you, relying on a hyper-technical distinction in immigration law that overstaying a visa or being unlawfully present after legal entry, that is, in fact, a civil violation. But she's intentionally ignoring the most common way people become, quote-unquote, undocumented. She's choosing to ignore it because they had to break the law to get into this country to begin with, which she's pretending doesn't happen. But I guess if you're someone who believes in open borders, it does kind of make sense. Under the law, improper entry into this country, entering between ports of entry, using false documents, invading inspection, whatever it is, that is a misdemeanor for a first-time offense and a felony for any subsequent one. If someone is deported, then you sneak back into the country, that is a felony under the law. These laws are not obscure technicalities. They are the very foundation of immigration enforcement. One could argue it's the very foundation of having a country and borders to begin with. Thousands of prosecutions are filed every single year under these laws. And Jayapal knows that. She just doesn't really care. Because this is part of a strategy to rebrand illegal immigration as some sort of victimless, bureaucratic mix-up. It's a, quote-unquote, it is a civil issue. It's a civil issue. It shouldn't even involve the criminal justice system. It's a civil issue. It's like jaywalking. Who amongst us? They call themselves sanctuaries. And yet at the same time, they're saying that this is not a criminal issue. Well, then what do you need a sanctuary for? Doesn't really make any sense, does it? None whatsoever. When someone enters the United States unlawfully, they have committed a federal crime. When they overstay a visa, they've committed a civil violation. Both are illegal. Both are deportable offenses, which again, Pramila Jayapal doesn't want you realizing. Her phrasing intentionally blurs the line between the law and what's actually happening. Oh, it's just a paperwork problem, essentially, is what she wants you to believe. And really, the only reason the Trump administration is even going after these people is because they're brown. That's what she wants you to believe. And it's an insult to every single immigrant who followed the law. What's missing in all of this and why their numbers are still in the toilet amongst Latino voters in particular is because they are insulting every single immigrant, millions of them, who waited for years, paid thousands of dollars in fees, underwent background checks, actually respected the process and did it the right way, the legal way. She wants to lump those people in together with those who jumped the line and violated the law, all for the sake of some cheap soundbite that she assumes flatters her activist base. And then, of course, she goes on to just insult us even more by pretending that sanctuary cities actually make us safer.
All of the research says that when local law enforcement can spend their time and their resources protecting communities and doing the work of local law enforcement, it actually increases public safety for everyone. When they cooperate with immigration enforcement, with federal law enforcement around immigration issues, it actually pushes people away and it makes everyone less safe. Because
I've heard this before, and I know you're going to be shocked to find this out. The data doesn't actually back up what she's claiming.
Really?
I know. I was shocked today, too. It was funny because Kayleigh McEnany on Fox News this morning actually pointed this out. I can't remember who she was responding. It wasn't Pramila making this exact same point. She's like, that's not what the data says. Just like when we're told, actually, American-born citizens commit crimes far more likely and at a higher likelihood than illegal immigrants. Look at the data. Well, I did look at the data. The data doesn't say what she claims. It doesn't say what she claims. And I'll do my trick question again, which is the hint. It's a trick question. Do you know how many illegal immigrants committed crimes in King County?
Well, we don't know.
Exactly. Why?
Because they don't report it.
Weird. We don't ask someone if they're in this country illegally. There's no database. And when there have been instances in which prosecutors on the far left suspect someone of being in this country illegally, they choose not to charge with felony. I mean, that was the policy in Los Angeles County under George Gascon. He put it in a memo. It's the same with Alvin Bragg in Manhattan. They put it down in a memo. So they're lying to you. You're just being lied to. And here's a good reporter asking a question that's valid, because the left doesn't make any distinction between someone who just happens to be in this country illegally, but otherwise is following the law and just trying to live a good life for his or her family and themselves, and someone who's committing pretty heinous crimes.
An illegal alien from Nicaragua grabbed a woman on the north side
Is
last
a question?
week, bashed her head into the sidewalk, knocked her unconscious, and raped her. If that had been your wife, Stacey.
Okay, all right, we're not going to answer it. Thank you. Thanks, William.
All right.
Would you want ICE to deport her?
All right.
To
Let's
deport that
let's move on.
Yes or
Simple
no?
question.
Let's move on.
Answer the question as a man, not as mayor, but as a man. Would you want
Yeah, thanks. Thank
ICE
you.
How dare you call Brandon Johnson a man? That's the part for me, actually, I would have kicked him
It's
out.
fake news.
That's ridiculous. But I mean, it's a really simple answer. Like any normal person would say, of course I would want them deported. And there's actually a way to handle that question and say, I don't appreciate you bringing my wife into this or my daughter into this or my family member into this. The question is obviously yes, but this is part of a sick, twisted fantasy. And then you can lie and spin. It never happens, by the way, which is, of course, a lie. These people, man. Ooh, these people. Let's find out what else is trending.
What's trending? In Amazonia.
Well, not good news for about 30,000 corporate positions that are expected to be terminated tomorrow. We expect that these emails from Andy Jassy, the CEO, or the managing, the hiring managers will go out tomorrow. Layoffs hitting about 10% of the 350,000 corporate employees. It'll start tomorrow, according to Reuters. They're expected to hit human resources, which I feel like is the one department most people will be all like, do we really need them? It's okay. Devices and services, operations, and other departments. Managers were told today to prepare for these layoff notifications going out via email tomorrow. It's the largest layoff at Amazon since the 27,000 positions were cut in 2022. Jassy had a really simple answer as to why this is happening, and it's that they hired too many people during the pandemic. It was an overhiring. And clearly done in good faith, thinking that the COVID reality was not going to go away, that everything would shift. But things started to return back to normal, and it turns out, and perhaps they should have seen this coming, I guess, but if you're doing all your shopping online because the world is shut down, the economy is shut down, brick and mortar is shut down, yeah, of course, you're going to have a demand for expansion, and you've got to have managerial positions for the expansion. But that only works if, you don't reopen everything. And obviously things got reopened, so they don't have the same need for the staff. And this is not an Amazon-only issue. Microsoft went through the same thing. Lots of tech companies did. And again, I don't blame them. But they expanded, and then the economy returned to what it was before. Everything reopened, and people are back in the office, and it actually matters. So 30,000, though, is a lot of people to lose their jobs. That's a lot of people. We don't know that number locally, what it's going to be. We'll know tomorrow, presumably, or we'll have a little bit of a better guess. My guess is that a lot of them are going to happen here in Seattle. That would be my guess. And that's going to flood the market with really, talented, trained Amazon folks. But where are they going to go? And what is this going to do to the local economy? Depending on what that number is of the 30,000, let's just say it's half. That's a lot. That's a lot. And presumably because they've been getting paid, hopefully they have some savings, and it'll give them a little bit of some room to not have to immediately find another job. But that doesn't just hurt what you might think. It's not just the individuals who are losing their jobs who end up getting hurt. You know who gets hurt? The local coffee shop and the local doggy daycare center in South Lake Union, several of them. The dry cleaner, like all of these other businesses that rely on a large Amazon workforce, they struggle. And depending on where these people are based, whether it's Seattle or Bellevue, again, my presumption it's Seattle, downtown in general will look even less dynamic. So we'll keep an eye on this to see how many people it ends up impacting locally. We do know that Fortune magazine had previously reported that they plan to cut 15% of its HR department, so about 1,500 positions or so. And what's not being discussed in all of this is the backstory. Do you know why they're really, really, really making these cuts? Yeah, they're not lying when they say that they overhired. But why aren't those positions really necessary anymore? Do you think they overhired 30,000? No. So why are they doing this? It's 2 letters.
AI.
And they've said that they're leaning into AI. They're expanding their investments in AI. And it's not just the kind of AI that you might expect, but HR, you can put an entire HR manual in every single Amazon, resource and employee policy. You can put that into an AI chatbot where you can just hop online and say, "Dear Amazon AI, how many vacation days do I have? How many vacation days can I roll over next week or next year, excuse me? I want to report a boss who was mean to me because he made fun of my haircut that I took upon myself to cut my own hair, and now he's mocking me and asking audiences to mock me as well. I want to report this. All of that can be done. I'm not talking about you, Jackson.
Oh, that didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, okay. Well, I thought I saw a look on your face. But all of that can be done via AI. Customer service is being done right now by AI. You go on and talk to customer service at Amazon because, let's say, a package wasn't delivered correctly or something's missing or broken. It's all AI. So what do you need the human being for, who demands a high salary, has a bunch of benefits, gets sick, takes vacation, doesn't work 24/7, which, of course, we would not expect, except for talk show hosts, we wouldn't expect of people, right? Why wouldn't you go AI on a lot of these positions? But it's also some of the automation that's going on at warehouses where you got little robots that are buzzing around and picking up really heavy stuff from shelves. And then, have you seen some of the video of what's going on in some of the warehouses? It's cool, but also it's going to harm people.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper and way more efficient. Businesses will pick that 10 times out of 10, especially these kinds of positions. These are not public-facing positions. The only thing that's stopping baristas from losing their jobs tomorrow is that there is still some customer service expectation from the people going in for a cup of coffee. And when you don't meet that, man.
I'd like to see AI dye its hair blue.
I mean, AI you can create a bunch of different avatars,
That's
I
true.
guess. Let's find out what else is trending.